welcome to the highlights of the Australia-England match at the Sydney Cricket Ground. A vital clash this for these two teams, but more vital for Australia than England. The Australians, as we'll show you in a moment, have only 2 points in the Benson Hedges World Cup points table. Now that's the team they announced at the start. Mark Taylor is in the side. The 3 men out, Mark Waugh is 12th man, and Hughes and Marsh have been omitted, but Moody will be there to open the innings and try and get it away to a good start. Then Boon, Jones, Steve Waugh, Border, and Healey is playing. He reckons he's come through that hamstring injury and will be okay. Now the England side, Graham Gooch is skipper, then Botham, Smith, Hick and Fairbrother, Stewart, Lewis, Pringle, Reeve, De Freitas batting at 10. That is a very good and strong batting lineup. Phil Tufnell at 11, and Gladstone Small is carrying the drinks. Now the points in the Benson Hedges table, the World Cup 1992, and that includes the match between South Africa and the West Indies in Christchurch today, where South Africa had a win. It takes them to 4 points, the same as West Indies. West Indies on the net run rate just shade them a fraction, but Australia way down there, second from the bottom, just above Zimbabwe, and they have only 2 points. So the toss was won by Alan Border. He decided on a very dry pitch that Australia would bat. Conditions were excellent, and we join play now in the third over. Derek Pringle is the bowler. It's no wicket for 4, and Tom Moody is taking strike.
He's gone, no, just short of slip. Got it on the half volley. Dermot Reeve diving forward. He's always a chance there, Tom Moody, as he plays with the bat away from his body. Didn't carry. Big shout, got in, good bowling, Pringle well on line, Taylor shuffling across, this time plumb in front. So England on top early on here, it's 1 for 5.
Yes, Taylor out for a duck. That one looked as if it did swerve back just a little bit. Straightening down the line of the stumps, here it is. And that looked pretty plumb to me. Umpire Kissa Hayat from Pakistan getting his finger up nice and quickly. So unfortunately for Mark Taylor, out for a duck, it's 1 for 5.
David Boon, the in-form Australian batsman, coming out to take guard. 2 slips, point, cover, mid-off, and a third man on the offside. It's beautifully played, that's 4. Superb shot.
Don't bowl short outside off stump to David Boon. He's one of the best cut shot players in the world, and this is an example of a magnificent shot. Quick, short delivery outside off stump, but boy does he love him there. Never any doubt about that hitting the fence.
Form batsman for Australia during the summer. They elected to go with Mark Taylor opening today, but unfortunately that didn't come off, so David Boon virtually opening. In the air, even the athletic Ian Botham couldn't get a hand on that. Quite a bit of bat on it. Not quite the intention for the direction that it went. Ian Botham was in the right line, but it was just a bit too high for him.
David Boon's favourite shots, that foot cut. It's still got a fair bit of bat on it. Not as perfectly performed as he would have liked, but the end result, it's just as good as you could want. 4 runs.
Tom Moody finally gets some bat on ball exactly where he wants it. Australia just picking up the pace now.
It's just getting a wee bit short, Chris Lewis, a little wide. David Boon has been very harsh on that sort of delivery, and Tom Moody taking a leaf out of his book, doing exactly the same thing.
Things up on the offside. David Boon wants to run. Tufnell hits the stumps, and David Boon, sorry, that's Fairbrother's hit the stumps there. He's very good in that position. It's a position which Alan Border has made a specialty as a left-hander. Fairbrother is also a left-hander, and David Boon has again been run out.
That is a nasty blow. Neil Fairbrother shown his fielding progress many times. Very quick in that area. Left-handed throw. Tom Moody sending David Boon back. And Fairbrother taking aim, firing, and knocking those stumps Out of the way. David Boon run out. 18. Australia are now 2 for 35 in the 10th.
Dean Jones came out in an aggressive mode in Brisbane on Sunday. It'll be interesting to see how he goes today. Placement good here from Tom Moody. Chris Lewis straying onto the leg stump. Dean Jones is going to force 3 runs from it. Tom Moody thinking about 4. I think it would have been a disaster.
Certainly would have been a disaster, and that man again, Neil Fairbrother, being involved. Magnificent throw from deep in the outfield. And the 4th run there definitely would have been flirting with disaster.
And Phil De Freitas comes on from the Paddington end to replace Chris Lewis, who bowled 6 overs for 24. First change today. Alex Stewart just losing concentration there. 2 byes. They were the only runs from the over. Pretty good over to start with from Phil De Freitas. Australia 2 for 50. We have our second change in bowling here at the SCG as Ian Botham comes on from the Randwick end. And we have a change in the commentary position of David Gower and Richie Benaud.
That's why Jones is up the top of the order, giving himself the chance to hit away on the onside. We're through the 15 overs, so Gooch could have more men outside the circle than the 2 mandatory inside that 15 overs.
Well, Tom Moody here using his head. Graham Gooch had the man back at mid-off for a shot of similar height to this, so Tom Moody has decided to go of mid-on. Graham Gooch was the man at mid-on, thought for a moment it might be a catch to him. But that's exactly the sort of height that Graham Gooch had in mind when he put the man back long off.
Graham Gooch is now introducing Tufnell to the attack, which is good timing. Fairbrother, there won't be 2. Yes, there will be. That is terrific running. England's best fielder. They took him on. Australia 2 for 81. Beautifully placed. That brings up the 50 partnership.
The strength of Tom Moody. Doesn't have to be a particularly bad ball for him to hit it away to the boundary. Just too much towards leg stump. De Freitas pays the full penalty.
Now Jones goes over the top and beautifully placed.
There's nothing much wrong with the bowling there. He was still flighting the ball. Dean Jones obviously waiting for any opportunity. He got outside this one to the leg side, kept it on the offside of him, hit it over the infield between the 2 outfielders for 4. That brings up the 100 for Australia.
No one asleep. But Pringle gets the boot on it. And that's 50 for Tom Moody.
Been a very good innings by Tom Moody here for Australia this afternoon. The Australians deciding to use him as an opener, and I think it's a very good move. Dean Jones applauding Tom Moody, and Tom Moody could be applauding Dean Jones as well for running that 3. He picked that it was Pringle down on the fence, and his arm is no good. And he very quickly picked up on that and ran it hard and made sure that Tom Moody got the 3 he required.
Oh, well caught. Chris Lewis, what an athletic fielder he is. So one Caribbean-born fielder helps out one Caribbean-born bowler.
What a sensational catch it was. Dean Jones has hit this ball very close to the middle of the bat, short and wide. He's given it the full flow of the blade. And look at that for a classic catch. What a brilliant piece of fielding. And Philip de Freitas has every reason to be delighted. He's bowled better balls than that in this innings, but that's an important wicket. Dean Jones out for 22. Australia 3 for 106.
Steve Waugh is the new man at the crease.
Just got away from Graham Gooch. Rather a thick edge from Steve Waugh. For a run there for Steve Waugh. No shortage of effort from the captain.
Certainly none. Steve Waugh getting that away a little finer than Graham Gooch would have liked. A magnificent effort from the England captain. A quick glance shows that they've run 4 anyway.
Round his legs, behind his pads. As he dragged it back on. Well, the replay will be able to tell us that. Impossible to tell from behind Tom Moody as he played that sweep shot.
There's a body blow. And Tom Moody just dragging that back down from the arm back onto the stumps. And that is a real body blow. You can see that just coming down off his right arm. His bottom hand, dragging it back onto the stumps, would have comfortably missed the stumps otherwise. Tom Moody's gone now for 51, bowled by Phil Tufnell. And the 31st over Australia of 4 for 114.
Phil Tufnell has his first wicket of this innings. Brings Alan Border out to the centre. There's no man out. Gooch has brought all the men back inside the circle, and Border has taken advantage of it to play a lovely stroke.
Good aggressive start by the Australian captain. The field being up, Graham Gooch sensing there's a fair bit of pressure on the Australian batsman. Alan Border with experience takes him on. A very well-timed stroke, not a lot of effort. Even nearly went over the top.
It's into the gap. Whack into the fence as well. Very good shot from Stephen Waugh there. He's tried the sweep shot once or twice. And that time he really middled it.
His form has been improving during this World Cup. Certainly wasn't in great form in the matches earlier in the summer, Steve Waugh, but I get the feeling that he's running into quite good form here.
Straight hit there by Alan Border. Will he come back for the second? No, he won't. De Freitas is a pretty good fielder, and now they're getting to both of them trying to stop that with his foot. It wouldn't have been all that comfortable. He put his foot out, it hit the foot, and then went deflecting away on the offside of the field for a run.
He wasn't all that smart on 2 counts. 1, it's going to hurt, and 2, you haven't got a lot of control over where it's going to go, even if you have played for Scunthorpe United.
Bowled him. Neck and crop. Botham getting through the defences of Alan Border, and that is a huge blow for Australia. Just when Border was about to get himself going, on 16, done all the hard work. Botham striking.
Alan Border has been bowled quite a few times in this exact manner, with the ball coming back into him, going through the gap. And he heads back to the pavilion now with 16 against his name. Australia 5 for 145.
Ian Healey back in this Australian side. That's beautifully hit, and 1 bounce. In fact, it may have hit the fence on the full. The umpire asking the fieldsman down there, who signalled 6.
He's an extremely generous man, Graham Hickett. Looked to the naked eye as though it crashed into the fence on the full, but Maybe it hit someone in the crowd who was reaching out and pushed the ball back into the field of play. It's the only thing I can think of. It looked as though it crunched into one of the advertising signs on the full.
That's out, straight to mid-wicket. Once again, Botham claiming the wickets there. The Australians realising that they've got to get on with it. And Healey trying to hit through that one. And he's hit it straight to Fairbrother. So the Englishmen who've come to the ground to watch their side today are starting to get a little noisy.
Yes, that was a bit of a gift there for England. Ian Healey, a very short, sharp innings from him. It's 6 for 155.
Peter Taylor is the new batsman.
Ian Healey wasn't there long. He hit a 6, and he was obviously going to continue in that vein if he hung around. But instead he picked out Neil Fairbrother. So Ian Botham doing a good job for his skipper here, getting wickets at a time when that's exactly what England wanted.
Oh, big appeal. This has got to be close. Yes, he's given him. Botham struck again. Taylor out LBW to Botham. That might have just straightened down the line a little bit. Umpire Buckner gave it a little bit of a thought, and then up went his finger.
So certainly a bit of movement off the seam. And the big worry there would have been height, but I think looking at that, certainly wasn't too high. Steve Bucknor didn't think so. And so Ian Botham has struck again. Another duck for the Australians, and they are now 7 for 155 in the 40th over.
Craig McDermott's the new batsman, facing in Botham. These are his best figures in World Cup cricket.
Yes, he's really got the bit between the teeth now, Ian Botham, getting that one to move back quite sharply off the seam. And that's 3 wickets in the space of a couple of overs.
That's in the air, and that is out as well. Good catch there by De Freitas. Moving away to his right, Botham's got another one. This time it's McDermott who slightly mishit a straight drive. And what a good catch that was by De Freitas. Going away to his right, he caught it just before it hit the turf. Here's Botham having a good time.
The Australian batsmen have gone crazy. Poor old Steve Waugh sitting up the other end getting pneumonia, and these guys are just getting out one after the other. Steve Waugh will be going berserk in a minute. Tail ender's thrashing away while he just sits at the other end. A good catch there by De Freitas, but not a lot of thought given to that innings by Craig McDermott. Australia 8 for 155. Mike Whitney has had a hell of a rush on his hands. You can bet there'd been a nice old scramble in the dressing room.
Whitney hits that well, and that's 4. Should I have said that? Because he opens up with a big cover drive. Glorious stroke.
Well, I think, Bill, you're absolutely right. Mike Whitney has been working on his batting. Absolutely nothing wrong with that shot. And putting some of his colleagues higher up the order to shame. Hitting straight through the line there, finding the gap. All it needs is someone to throw it back.
It's possibly the best shot that Michael Whitney's ever played in a World Cup match. 8 for 163. That's the unhappy story for Australia at the moment. The Sydney Cricket Ground, the Lewis comes in. Waugh pushes it. Backward point. They look for 2 here. Waugh's quite quick. It's coming back. De Freitas got a good arm. He's going to be gone. Yes! He's gone. A brilliant piece of work by Philip De Freitas. Certainly the man of the moment for England. He's bowled beautifully. A good catch now. A magnificent run out. And that's virtually the end for Australia, because that was Waugh gone by an inch or 2. A beautiful piece of work.
Fabulous piece of fielding by Philip De Freitas, coming in very, very quickly from third man there. Steve Waugh looked up as he got to the far end, looked up, decided to take the risk, decided to take the gamble. He's guided it down here, shortest ball from Lewis, and watched De Freitas sprinting in down here. Picks it up just as Waugh turns, and Waugh's always struggling there. Great take by the the England keeper Alex Stewart there, and Steve Butner, the umpire. He's up off his knees, the fingers up, and Steve Waugh's going back to the pavilion. And Australia now 9 for 164 and deep in trouble.
Bruce Reid joins Michael Whitney. Reid, Whitney and McDermott will be the key here tonight. There's a bit in this pitch for the fast bowlers, and they're quite sharp. It's a nice glance, bad ball from Derek Pringle. That could go all the way. De Freitas does well. This will be a good throw. Only two. Great effort by De Freitas in the deep. Greg buys, but a great piece of fielding. He's a fine athlete with a good, strong arm.
Philip De Freitas has seemed very pumped up for this game ever since he started his spell of 10 overs. You've seen just how keen he is to do well today. He's chased again very quickly down to long leg there.
Reeve to bowl. Got him, so that's the end. Great judgment by England. Australia all out for 171 with 2 minutes to go. A magnificent effort by the Englishman after Alan Border won the toss, and I thought that was a big advantage here today. And after Taylor was out for duck, Moody and Boon looking good nick as we see the final wicket going middle stump, straight enough, right on cue. So England certainly with a great chance here to pick up.
I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm slightly bemused. Why would anyone play a stroke like Bruce Reid played there in the 49th over rather than wait for the 50th and thereby subject England to just a little bit of extra pressure? This is the way the card was at the end of the Australian innings. There's nothing there that would please anyone but your nearest and dearest, I can tell you. Tom Moody, 51 from 88 balls. He was good, and there was a partnership between Moody and Jones of 71 from 112 balls. Jones, 22. Steve Waugh, 27. They got a bit of a start, and then Border was bowled by Botham with that absolute clinker of a delivery, and Botham in the England bowling figures showed just what a good all-rounder he still is. First of all, there was Pringle and Lewis to open the bowling. They did well. All the England bowlers did well. De Freitas, 1 for 23 from 10 overs and 3 maidens, and Botham 4 for 31, 10 overs and 1 maiden. So it's 172 to win for England on paper, and in theory it looks fairly easy, but theory never ever won a cricket match.
It's over the top for 4, and that's the sort of thing that Botham will do to try and annoy the Australian bowlers.
Exactly. And that's the sort of thing Australia want to happen too much, because if this man Botham grows in confidence, anything could happen. And that basically a deliberate shot over the slip fieldsman. Wide swing delivery, short.
A boundary to Ian Botham from a no ball. So Ian Botham is making all the running for England at the moment. Graham Gooch is flat out getting a bat on them, but he's giving the ball a bit of a smash.
Certainly is. That one just over pitching. Ian Botham a little bit of room. And there was no doubt when that pitched where it was going to go. And Botham helping it on its way in no uncertain terms.
Shouts of catch it, but it was away from Border. So 2 boundaries in the 1 over there for Ian Botham. Just the start that England are looking for. None for 16. It's beautifully timed. It's a boundary for Gooch to get him off the mark.
I suppose after 15 deliveries, he was due to hit one, Graham Gooch, and he's hit it in no uncertain terms at all. Beautiful piece of timing off the hip. Craig McDermott just wandering onto that leg stump. And away for 4.
Too much width there from Bruce Reid. Not the sort of delivery that Australia needs at the moment.
Just going back to what I was saying about the Australians having come out all fired up, it's the sort of pep talk of let's get out there and get stuck in, but it is very dangerous to give Ian Botham any sort of width.
Could still be a good clash if Australia can peg back the run rate, and the best way to do that is to take some wickets. 2 or 3 quick wickets here could throw this game right open. Australia are far from done yet. Mind you, that doesn't help.
It was a beautiful stroke. He just waited on that. It left him a fraction, then it left the bat at about 1,000 miles an hour.
Graham Gooch, whilst having been beaten a number of times by Craig McDermott in particular, has still managed just to maintain his composure, maintain his balance, just wait for the ball. Pick that loose one off very comfortably. As Michael Whitney comes into the attack from the Randwick end, he's on his way. If he's going to bowl like that, he'll need plenty of good luck.
You can generally gauge from the way Michael Whitney runs in whether it's going to be an accurate spell from him or if he's going to start off concentrating on accuracy. He gave that a charge in from the end of his bowling run-up. Ian Botham now has made 26.
England's 50 has come up in 60 balls. Scintillating start. It's in the air. Craig McDermott won't get around to it. A bit slow out of the blocks. Well, Australia have obviously set their target on bowling England out.
I think that is right, but the way the onslaught has come, Border has still had to dispense with his second slip. He has to have 2 men in catching positions.
A good crowd, as we've said. Most of them been in from early this morning, anticipating this clash between Australia and England. Quite a few have come in later on in the afternoon. That's very close. Left arm over the wicket. Hayat from Pakistan deciding that it's either made contact with the bat, as Ian Botham indicated, or it wouldn't have hit the stumps, or maybe it pitched outside leg stump.
Well, it sounded as though it made contact with the inside edge.
Craig McDermott continue to bowl from the Paddington end. Causes some problems there for Ian Botham, but they managed to get a single. It's a direct hit by Tom Moody. Umpire Steve Bucknor at the bowler's end was in pretty good position. He was able to determine that Ian Botham was safe home.
Just a hesitation from Botham. Moody had to come around, and Botham has made it by a good half yard. Very well fielded by Tom Moody. Was slightly on his wrong side.
Steve Waugh coming on from the Paddington end.
Whoops, and that's no ball. Can cause all sorts of problems.
Yes, he's a bit lucky. He didn't knock the stumps over when he tried to deflect it away. It was never going to hit the stumps, but both of them made a bit of a lunge there, but it was quite safe. Steve Waugh, with the change of pace here, he'll bowl a lot more variance than McDermott with his fast outswingers and off-cutters.
Big appeal there for LBW and a very quick not out. Probably pitched just outside leg stump and overthrows.
Well, what a muck up there. He was out both, and if that throw had hit the stump, surely, and they get an overthrow. Confusion there. That was never going to be LBW pitching outside the line of the leg stump. One felt. Let's have a look at that. He's very wide there. Yes, pitched outside the leg stump. Was never going to be out, but then Botham was involved in a real muck up. There he is. There's the fieldsman, and he's gone, but misses, and they get an overthrow anyway. So it's England's day. They're playing very well. They're putting the pressure on the Australian bowlers and fieldsmen.
It's in the air, going down towards square leg, but there's no one down there. Big gap in that area, so just a little clip over the infield. Dean Jones doing the fielding. As usual, a lovely throw. Big appeal there, and not out straight away from the umpire.
Wickets seem to be going down leg side. We'll have a look at that again. He's quite wide of the crease. It was a pitch. And keeps going. That was a good decision. That would have missed the leg stump by quite a way.
Into the gap again. They found that gap often today. Two more to England, and this is the comparison. See there that England, who haven't lost a wicket yet, represented by that little white line, way ahead of the Australian total at the same time. So the score's on 87, no wicket for 87. In the air and down to third man. To about fourth slip, I'd say. But not often a fourth slip in one-day matches, so 2 runs to Botham.
Good running, aggressive running by Botham. But plenty of bat on that. In fact, it was an intended shot in the end. He opened up the face a bit and went through the vacant gully region.
Desperate Australians. One perhaps just sneaking down the leg side, leg by signal, so there was no bat in that.
Steve Waugh almost pleading, umpire Steve Bucknor there, almost down on his knees saying give us one, but not on, because the umpires are in good form like England. That ball was going down leg side. It was a fraction high as well, but it was closer than some of the others. The height probably saved Botham as well there.
Oh, he's hit that beautifully. Right off the meat of the bat. Take that. Into the gap and into the boundary for 4. So England advance on to no wicket for 95.
Spin. The 100 up for England. Ian Botham and Graham Gooch in command here at the SCG. That could be 2 more for Ian Botham. Gray McDermott's coming round at long leg. He's suffering slightly there. Not moving freely, but that's 50 for Ian Botham. And the crowd have enjoyed every one of them.
They certainly have. Deserving 50 for Ian Botham. Came out and really set this match up for England with both ball and now bat. Bringing up a half century. Pressured opening. Craig McDermott, Bruce Reid trying everything at him. And he threw just as much back. Magnificent effort from Ian Botham.
He's going for it now. And the ball just dropping short of Dean Jones. Had a deep cover there. Ian Botham running down the wicket to Mike Whitney. As if to celebrate that 50, has decided that he's not going to hold back at all now.
Typical Ian Botham shot as his innings goes on. Just short of Dean Jones in front of the members' stand. Just took it a little bit easy on that second run, and Ian Healey just making sure he ran a full 22 yards and take an easy step.
They certainly held it, and that's a very, very, very fine catch indeed by Ian Healey. Always used to have your number 1 keeper back in the side. One of the problems, he's got the hamstring there. He's dived to his left and hung on to a very good catch to get rid of Ian Botham.
Certainly an excellent catch, and a catch we've come to know Ian Healey can take on regular occurrences. This ball, basically a full face of the bat from Ian Botham. The left hand goes out. Takes it only 6 or 8 inches off the ground. A great catch will give Ian Healey and his leg a hell of a lot of confidence. Ian Botham departs. England 1 for 107.
Welcome back to the SCG as Robin Smith is the New England batsman coming out to the crease to replace Ian Botham. And that's not a bad start. But again, Mike Whitney over the wicket, struggling to get an LBW decision from Kizza Hyatt. The end of the over there. Once again, you see Mike Whitney, the ball pitching outside leg stump there.
Yeah, that's a fine shot. That was a tremendous hit. Wasn't all that bad a ball from Bruce Reid, delivered at considerable pace, and Gooch just wailed into it. Gave it a fearful thump.
Yes, he does give them a real thump. We're told often that he uses a very heavy bat. He certainly got the meat on that one.
One for 140. Graham Gooch, a half-century. He had lots of trouble against Craig McDermott. He pulled his bat away from a few early on, but he was beaten by a considerable number. But like the class player he is, he's come back, made runs, and has now reached 50. 3 balls to go.
He's got that one through the offside. Nice timing too, and placement by Robin Smith.
The England supporters are large in number. They've been very vocal. And Border showing the signs of frustration there. There's very little he can do. After 37 overs, 1 for 153. But Australia at the same stage were 4 for 141. And pretty well set with 13 overs to go for a very competitive score.
Bowled in. Stephen Waugh has hit the off stump. Gooch going for the big one down the ground there. No one covering the mid-on area. He decided to go over the top, missed it, and Waugh has bowled him.
A wry smile there from Steve Waugh. And Gooch really just aiming away on the leg side. He knows he's played across the ball. He helped to bring about his own downfall. It's a very good performance by Graham Gooch. England now 2 for 153.
Graham Hick is the new batsman for England, replacing Graham Gooch.
It's placed beautifully. That's an arrogant square drive.
Bruce Reid not in great form at the moment, struggling after coming back from injury. He's struggled with his line and his length. Left out of the side in Brisbane on the weekend, brought back here in the hope that he could do something to England like he did last summer. He really hasn't been up to a 3 runs required.
Goes again, and there it is. What a victory for England. England win with 2 for 173 with 9 overs to be bowled. That's a big win. Magnificent performance. 55 balls to spare.
That was a brilliant performance from England. Not only did they outbowl and outfield the Australians, they certainly outbatted them. This is the way their card finished at the close. 2 for 173, 58 to Gooch and 53 to Botham. Great all-round performance from the latter. And Smith remained 30 not out from 58 balls faced with Hick on 7, and a long line of batsmen there not needed. The Australian bowling, McDermott did well early on, finished up with none for 29, but it was a foregone conclusion for England. They played so well and really kept up their dominance over Australia all the way through. Down in the presentation area now, we have Tony Greig, with him the 2 skippers and the player of the match.
Thank you, Richie. Yes, and once again, I've got that $5,000 we have up here in the presentation area. First of all, Graham Gooch, congratulations, your $3,000. A good performance by your team. You must be very happy.
Yes, we were looking, I thought, we were chasing about 200, 220 at one stage, but Both came back and did his normal trick against Australia, took a few wickets, and the whole game changed, so made it a bit of an easier task.
Have you had your calculator out? Does this mean that you're in the semi-finals for sure now?
No, I'm not sure about that, but I'm sure if we can win 1 or 2 more matches, that will put us in the semi-finals. So it's a good performance. I mean, was on the end of a lot of hidings from Australia, and today was a nice day for us. We was the other way around.
The Freitas bowled well and fielded well too. Vital run out.
Yeah, I thought we fielded in tremendously well. In every match we fielded brilliantly, much improved on last year, and obviously that came up trumps today with some good catches and some run-outs, so we're looking good at the moment.
And you'd be pretty happy with your form as well.
I don't think I played too well today, but fortunately I hung around, so that's all right.
Well done today. Congratulations to you and your team. Right, well, we've also got Alan Border's been good enough to come up. Bad luck today.
How about that?
Yes, you won the toss, batted first. That was the logical thing to do, but just not enough runs.
Well, that's basically right, Tony. I mean, it's been the story all year. We just haven't really put too many good innings together, and today was another great example of it. Just lost wickets at the wrong time. The English bowlers kept pressure on, and the batting towards the end was very ordinary. So, as Graham said, we were looking towards a total of 220, which would have been, interesting sort of target on that wicket. And once you get bowled out for 170, you've got very little chance unless you do some damage with the new ball.
That's right. A lot of pressure on the bowlers then.
Yeah.
So down to Adelaide now. We're going to pick up some points down there, hopefully.
Well, I don't know whether we're totally out of it, but I think we need some good results to go our way. Plus, we've obviously got to win the rest of our games. So, down but not out.
Right. Well, good luck.
Thanks, Tom.
Right, well, thank you, Alan Border. Now, the Man of the Match award receives this Benson Hedges World Cup medallion. There it is. And also a cheque for $500. And, of course, today, not hard to judge that one. There we are. You can have the medal. Ian Botham, congratulations. Take the money away as well as you like. And tell us, what is it? Is it pantomime stuff? I mean, what's this great turnabout? Best figures ever.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, all right, yeah. No, it's just one of those days. It went my way.
It's not a bad wicket. It was relatively dry, a little bit inconsistent perhaps.
Yeah, a little bit too pace maybe, but I think AB was a little bit unlucky. He got a good ball, but the rest of the boys hold out.
Are you doing anything different? I mean, you're looking pretty fit. You ran in there today, swung it a bit. And
still drinking as much water.
Just doing the same,
same thing.
Well, Simon O'Donnell told me to tell you that he actually selected you as man of the match today, and just wanted you to know that.
Well, thanks, Scuba.
Right. Well, very well played.
Thank you very much.
Good luck in the semi-finals. Thank you. Right. Right. Well, that's Ian Botham. Very, very healthy-looking Ian Botham, and a very, very good one at this moment in time for England as well. Back to you, Richard.